Hi friends, welcome to Kids Talk. Our guest for today is Kristy. She is a Placement and Career Service Coordinator with Cambrian Hanson College. Hi Kristy, welcome to our show. She has an immense experience in interview and she's going to help our viewers and you guys know the myths, the do's, the don'ts and the key things that you should know for a successful interview. Hi Kristy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. I'm very happy to be here to talk to GIDS viewers about interviewing skills.
So our first question, what changes do you observe in the interview process now and in 5 to 10 years back?
So there have been some changes in interviewing over the past 5 to 10 years. There are 4 that I think are relevant to talk about today to help interviewers prepare well for their future jobs. The first one is technology and the impact technology advancements have had on interviewing. Today it's very common for employers to hold video interviews and interviews over the phone. Also, another change has been the number of interviews a person can expect to have. So there might be several different people from an organization that wish to interview a potential candidate. It could be someone from human resources, it could be a hiring manager, it could even be someone from the executive department. Other than having multiple interviews, someone can expect to have one interview with multiple interviewers. A third change would be the type of screening tools that are used to assess if a candidate is a suitable fit for a job or an organization. These assessment tools or screening tools could be language proficiency assessments. They could be where employees or potential employees are requested to submit work samples. In the tech industry, it's very common for employers to assign tasks in a certain amount of time to be completed so that a candidate is demonstrating the skills and knowledge necessary and required for a job. And finally, the type of questions that an interviewer will ask are not just based on the experience and education a person has, but they're very situational and behavioral based to get a real sense of the choices and types of decisions someone will make in a particular situation.
Awesome, Kristy. It was a great answer. So it is always considered that the first impression is the last impression. Do you think the physical appearance, tattoo, piercing, having colorful hair can have a negative influence?
Well, it's obvious that people will make judgments and perceptions of others based on their appearances. And certainly, while tattoos and piercings and hairstyles and clothing choices can be really fun and creative ways of expressing our individuality, it may not be respected the same in a workplace setting when you are presenting your professional identity. And when I say professional identity, I'm referring to the kind of image or brand you are developing yourself as a professional in a career within the industry you've chosen. For example, a lawyer in a courtroom may make different appearance choices or branding choices than someone who is involved in the entertainment industry. So be mindful that how we act, how we talk, and what we look like are all influencing what people perceive you to be. And just make sure that you are presenting your professional self and professional identity that you want people to know about you.
Moving on, our next question. Good communication skills are always important for an interview. How important do you think non-verbal communication and body language is?
It's very important. Of course, appearance and how we look is a key factor in influencing the success of an interview, but we also have to keep in mind things like eye contact, posture, our handshake if given the opportunity, and something like smells if we choose to use perfume or cologne or other scented products. These will all influence someone's perception of you during an interview. Sometimes we put too much focus on the things that we will say in an interview instead of really thinking about how we say something.
Yeah.
Remember, a person might not remember every word that you say, but they will remember what they thought and how they felt in your presence.
It's really true. What tips would you like to give our viewers for a successful interview?
There are 8 tips I would like to mention today to your viewers. I'll begin with what I call my 3 Ps. The first P is prepare. Be informed and learn about the position in the organization you're applying to. The second P is practice. Think about those common interview questions and what you would like to say to answer them. And also consider your STAR answers. STAR. You want to start with explaining the situation that you were in, moving on to the task that you were asked to take care of. A is the action that you used to take care of that task, and R is the positive result as a result of the action you took. STAR answers. And the third P is to present your best self. The other tips I'd like to give you today is to be on time. And by on time, I mean 15 minutes early at least. Also, be calm and confident. And remember to be engaged and interested and attentive during the interview, as well as be engaging and interesting in your answers. Another tip is to have questions prepared at the end of the interview. The interviewer will always ask you, do you have any questions? Select questions to show that you are motivated and curious about doing a good job for the organization. And finally, know your rights. Know what kinds of questions employers might ask but shouldn't. And feel free to respectfully and professionally refuse to answer any questions that are discriminatory in nature.
Those were wonderful tips, Kristy. Last but a very important question. Do you think it's appropriate to disclose your salary expectations in an interview?
Yes, I do. But you might want to wait and see if the person conducting the interview asks what your expectations are first. And often they will do this to see if you have realistic expectations as an employee working for them. Do your homework and do your research. You want to make sure that you know what the industry usually offers people in this type of position, and consider what skills, experience, and knowledge you bring. I highly recommend not to spend too much time talking about or too many questions asking about frivolous perks such as vacation, bonuses, raises, and promotions. While these are really important things you might be curious about, asking about them too much might make you seem or appear unproductive or not really interested in the work. Instead of asking, when are you going to get your first raise, consider a more professional way like, what incentive programs are available to motivate employees?
Thank you, Kristy, for coming at Get Stock. I also want to thank Government of Canada for funding Bridging the Gap program. So thank you so much for coming today.
You're very welcome. It's been my absolute pleasure to be here with you and sharing the knowledge that I have. I'd also like to encourage the Canadian government to continue sponsoring and funding programs like Bridging the Gap that really helps newcomers and students to Canada to access important and useful information.